How you going? Sorry I'm a little bit late. Let me just make this my big screen. How's everyone going? It's Courtney. Hi, I'm a Stampin' Administrator in Australia, and I just wanted to pop on in and say hello and hooray, it's Thursday. Welcome to my live today. I know I've got a couple of newbies watching me. Hopefully they can all get on and see what's happening. I don't know what I did. I ended up with Kate actually on here with me, so I don't know how that happened, but it's all good. Hopefully we'll be able to, once we work that out, I might be able to have other crafters come and join us, so that would be pretty cool. So hello and welcome to what was, I was going to say, a beautiful sunny day in here in lovely New South Wales, but it's actually not that sunny. It is now raining here, and it's come all overcast. It was lovely a little while ago, but not anymore. So this is our current mini catalogue. Okay, I've got it on my screen here. There's a couple of things that I'm going to show you today. Now I will just grab, I'll just move that up into there. I'm just going to grab some designer series paper. I've got my trimmer. Now in this mini catalogue, there'll be some of you will be aware that our designer series paper vellum, our paper vellum went. So vellum we used to be able to do quite some fabulous techniques with vellum, and we're all very disappointed. But if you look in this packet here, which is the Graceful Greenery, it is a Christmas set. It's not from the mini catalogue. It's part of an online exclusive. Okay, you were well and truly here before you. I could actually see you on my screen. It's part of one of the online exclusives. So you won't find it in the mini catalogue, but it's vellum. So I thought we're going to have a play with that. And we're going to have a play with a couple of other things. Now, I didn't grab my alcohol, which I am going to grab because, no, we're not drinking today, but we are playing with alcohol. And here's some I prepared earlier. This here is 99.8% pure alcohol. You get it at Bunnings or Super Cheap or one of the auto shops. It's great for cleaning stuff. It's great for art and craft. So that's actually what we're going to do with it today. We're going to play with this. It's isopropyl alcohol. The one with the little green crocodile, I think he is, or alligator, he doesn't seem to work as well for this technique that I'm planning to show you. So with your Stampin' Blends, there's a thing you can do called stained glass. You've got a couple of different options with stained glass when it comes to your card making. So you can, what's the word for it? You can cut out a die. We don't have one currently that will actually do what I would want to do with it. You could cut out a die, and it could be your frame. It could have all like a filigree or a pretty picture on the inside, and then you can put your vellum behind it and it looks like stained glass behind that. You could do that, or you could do some cutting out of other things, and yeah, there's lots of little things that you could do. The one that I'm going to do today, I did ask my friend Lisa what she wanted to learn today, because I was a bit stumped. I'm thinking, what am I going to show them? I've got so many new things. I've got so much stuff that I've already bought before and I hadn't used. But I was missing vellum, and then I opened this pack and I was so excited to see, as I'm hoping that you guys will be as well. This pack, it's got 6 pieces in this pack. It's classed as a specialty paper. So there's 2 of each of 3 different designs, and there is a definite front and back. Oh, I'm opening it and I'm not even showing it. You're looking at the top of my head. We can't have that nonsense. So there's a definite. All right, I'll just take my watch off because that's distracting. Definite front and back. So the front has got a really vibrant, hi Felicity, hello Cheryl. The front's got a very vibrant colour, it's quite strong, and the back is quite muted. And it doesn't matter which side you use, you can use either. So there is that piece there with our little piney type sprigs. And then there's this piece. Now, you can see it does have a pattern on it. You can sort it. Hi, Anne, how you going? Hi, Lo. Everybody's here today. It's great. Say hi to Kate. She's new. Um, so this is vellum. It's got a pattern on it. It's just like a snowy type pattern, and that's the piece that I'm planning to use today. And then there's also this piece. Again, nice and strong and vibrant on one side, a little bit see-through, and then on the back it's quite muted. Not that it's easy to see that on the camera. Okay, you're just going to have to trust me on that one. All right, so we are going to use this piece here today. So I do need to cut some of it up, and you can see it's see-through. And that's the best bit about vellum. It's see-through. This one's got a little bit of texture looking to it. Doesn't feel like anything. Oh, actually, yeah. No, it doesn't feel like anything, but that's okay. So I bought over Spotlight on in Nature. Spotlight on Nature, because it's got some really pretty outlines that we can color, and they will look really nice. So what I'm going to do first, I've got all my other bits. I haven't even put them on blocks or anything like that, because of course I'm very consistent. I was running late, but you all know me, and I presume that you all expect me to be these days. So vellum is this is 12 by 12. Vellum is one of those papers that normally, under normal circumstances, I'd actually use a different blade for, but my other trimmer's in my drawer. And the reason why I do that is because it's one of those things that does blunt, over time it will blunt your blades a lot faster. So I might just use this one from the pulling down section. So I want it to be, you know what, I'm just going to cut it in half, and then I'll just cut the piece that's card front size. So that's 10 centimeters. And just so that because I'm not sure how I'm going to do this yet. So there's a couple of different things that you can do. So it does need some white behind it so that will show your vibrancy of your color. Yes, you can definitely get replacement blades for that trimmer. They're really good blades. The girls will attest. The other week I actually stuck it into my finger. The blade, it comes, just a quick diversion. I'm very easily distracted, Kate, I will tell you that. It comes on and off really easy. There's like a little nick down here, but if you look at the blade on that. So it's quite sharp, and of course the other week I stuck it in my finger. So, which was very unpleasant, I will tell you. For want of a better way of putting it. Okay, so I've bought over a bucket load of Stampin Blends. Really? How can you lose your scoring thingy? You can buy the scoring thingies as well. They're an online exclusive only. That's for this trimmer, as long as it's the new trimmer, not the old trimmer that had the bit that falls out here. Hi, June. Yes, it was, ouch. Anyway, back on track. So with this piece of vellum, there's a couple of things that I can do. And I'm doing it first because I want to let it dry. I normally would make a portrait style card, but today you're getting a landscape one. There's a couple of reasons why you're getting landscape one, because I actually want to show you more. I want to put more flowers on it. Now, there's two different ways that you can do this. I've bought over Stays On. This is a cling stamp, so it's red rubber. I bought over my Stays On, which stays on a bit, and if you use it on photopolymer, it does stay on. You have to clean it off straight away. At least with this and Stays On cleaner, I'll be able to get it off, but I get it off later with my Stays On cleaner and the Stampin' Scrub, which has got the fluffy one, the black one. Okay, I want to be able to share more. I want to be able to put more flowers on this card. So I am going to go with a landscape card. So where's Chris? Chris needs to see this. Chris, I never make landscape cards, but anyway, I am today. So I'm going to pull out my flower and my leaves. My flower's quite big. It does need our nice big block E. Okay, and our leaves we can get away with. Where's it hiding? This one's block I, but we could actually get away with a smaller one. because it doesn't take up all the room, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do, now there's two different ways you can do this. You can color. Hi, Pauline, how you going? You can color and then you can stamp, or you can stamp, turn over and color. So today, for the intents and purposes of this video, I'm going to stamp, turn over and color. And then I'm going to have a play with some alcohol. All right. And there's a couple of different ways that you can apply the alcohol. So what we'll do, I'll just get myself a little bit more comfortable and a bit closer. So we've got our Stays On ink. It has like a little, I know what I've done. It has a little cover in there. If I do that, you can probably see it. What I've done is I've stuck a glue dot in there. And the reason why I've done that is so that I don't lose that little piece. Stays On ink is an alcohol-based ink. You cannot put the Stampin' Blends on the same side as the Stays On because it will all go melting in together. Okay, so it smells absolutely glorious. But with Stays On ink, if you put blends near it, they will blend into that Stays On ink because they're both alcohol. If you want to put the Stampin' Blend color on the same side that you're putting the ink, the stamp, then you need to use Memento, or you need to wait until we've done all the techniques and then you stamp over the top. But I actually want to do something different with this one. So I'm going to stamp this on one side and I'm going to color on the other side. So my alcohol, which I have here, isn't going to go anywhere near my Stays On ink because it will actually make it run. All right. So there's rules that come with everyone. So let's go back to the desk. Okay. So with your Stays On ink, if you lose this piece, that will dry out. All right. It dries out really quite quickly, so it's not one that we want to have open too much. And I probably should have re-inked it because there is no color whatsoever on that. So hold tight and I'll show you how to re-ink this baby. But I have to grab it from the other side of the room. All right. Everybody sing and talk to each other. Okay. That's Memento. Where's my Stays On? I've got Stays On. Oh my gosh, don't tell me I don't have it. That Stays On brown and Memento in there. I might have to pull the Memento out. Not what I want to do. Okay. Stays On, jet black, found it. All right. If you're wondering where this little treasure came from, all right, if you're wondering where this little treasure came from, this used to be one of our mini containers. It's a half a video container. I just like to store them all in that. So I found my Stays On black, which wasn't in its house where it lives. All right. A metal spoon is your friend. A plastic one works just as well, but in this day and age, there's so many plastics in the environment, we don't necessarily want any more than we actually need. So I'm just rubbing some ink onto this, and I'm being, as you can see, very generous. No fussy cutting today, Amanda. You're all sweet, darling. Oh, maybe there's no fussy cutting today, Amanda. You should be all sweet. I'm not planning any, but I might add some at the end. Amanda's my non-fussy cut fan. So I've been quite generous with how much, and you can see it was very thirsty. It's sucking it right up. And you're probably all sitting there going, why does she have the spoon? Well, my class girls will know, I hope. These are great. Refills, if you get a colour ink you like, always get the refill. I use the spoon to massage it around. Now, this is like Memento. I do store it upside down, okay, because it's not like our regular stamp pads that actually have the storage upside down feature happening automatically. Let's see. That should be, oh, that is so much better. It's actually getting some ink on it now. Now, Kate, you're not a fussy cut fan either. All right, so now I'm going to stamp this one here about there. And I will be trimming this down, okay, because of how I want it to sit. So I've got it in my head what I'm doing. I just haven't told you. And that one there can go there. Okay, so they're sort of in line. And then what I'm going to do here is make sure I've got ink on it. And I'm going to make sure it's not touching each other because I don't want it to. And then you'll notice I'm getting it all over my table. And I'm just moving my stamp pad, my piece of paper out of the way of where it's landing. Now, I am colouring more than I am going to need, but that is okay. Or stamping on more. So by rights, storing it like upside down with our little piece in here, it should stay moist. I haven't used that for ages. I'd probably be looking at 12 months is what I'd say. Now, Kate wouldn't have seen our glass mats, and somewhere I do have a sample cleaner. All right, the glass mat is fabulous. Now this is stays on, and I'm not going to put it on my finger because last week I went out with it all over my finger. And you'll notice this is just one of our normal chamois. The ink is actually dry, nice and squeaky, and that is a chamois with water. Okay, just plain water. It does make an amazing sound. Excellent. So the chamois, I just run it through the washing machine with a dark load. Okay, so I'm going to put the word top just in pencil. I've put it down there. And the reason why I do that is at the moment I can very easily see that that is the top. That ink is already dry. There, it is not. I can see that it's not the top. That's what I meant. It is dry. So that ink's already dry, but I'm just making them up because that's not going to end up where I want it. So what I'm going to do is turn over my piece and I'm going to start to colour. So with our Stampin Blends, and there, I just pulled over variety. I needed a green, so I've got my Granny Apple green. Our dark colours work best for this. I've got Mossy Meadow. Yep, light Mossy Meadow and dark Mossy Meadow. And then I pulled over. I've started using, and I never used to, I really didn't like this colour, but I do like this now. This is Cajun Craze. So I've pulled it over, but then I've also got, that looks like that's, yep, there's Balmy Blue. So I've got Balmy Blue, Cajun Craze, and some greens. The reason why I've got more than one green is because I like the variation. However, what you'll find is when we add the alcohol, it's going to change anyway. So we don't have to be neat in this particular case. We're just going to have some fun. Now, I normally work from my lightest color to my darkest color when I'm doing this because I don't particularly want any of my darker colored inks on my pen, on my marker. So I'm just very, very messy like, and I could probably get away with a darker blue, but I'm adding some blue into the spaces between all my flowers and my leaves and everything like that. Doesn't look like much. I'll be impressed if you guys can see it because of the light that's shining on my table. But the more we add, the easier it will get for you to see it. And that color is just going to sit there. Okay, that color's sitting there. I'm not sure how this is going to look, so we'll just give this a bit of a whirl. My tulips, plants, flowers are going to be in the Cajun Craze color. Again, I'm not being neat. All right. If you wanted to, this looks fabulous. Just put a little bit of dark in there as well, but it's going to change considerably once I add the alcohol. You could add, if I'd embossed the other side, that looks amazing. Let's go with our Granny Apple Green first. This one's the dark one. I want the brush end. Oh, it's looking a bit How's Your Father, that brush end. I might need to replace that. I've replaced a whole heap of them recently. And they're not neat. They're actually, the messier they are, the better this looks. Trust me, as they say. Turns out quite fabulous. All right, so far that's what we're with at the minute. This is the light Mossy Meadow. I would normally say, oh, gosh, this is bad as the others. I would normally say it's dry. Go with your, like, I would normally do my lighter colors first. I would normally just say use the dark colors on this because of the way that we're going to do this. I've had this as one of my favorite colors in blends. So this poor marker has had a really rough life. All right. I'm going to the pointy end. That brush has died. Okay, this is not good. Oh, it's this pen. All right. I've cracked it. So it's got a great big crack down here, so it doesn't like to, this end doesn't come off easily. I dropped it and then I trod on it. It's not ideal. I'll just give you the heads up. But that'll do it, let me say. I love the noise the markers make when we're talking about noise. Okay, so this is just one way you can do it. You can emboss the image on one side and then just fill in the, like, color in amongst the embossed images, like the embossed part. If you do that, use your pointy end because it trashes your tips of your brushes. This one here is actually Night of Navy. It's a dark color. I know that I don't really want to do it, so I won't. Or I do. Part of me does. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of Night of Navy in here. I'm feeling brave. Gosh, I hope it works and that it comes down a little bit. All right. I was just so excited to see that vellum in that pack, let me tell you. All right, so it doesn't look like much at the moment. Actually, it looks like a bit like a dog's breakfast at the moment. So, but when you turn it over, it looks different again. Plus, it's got that white textures type stuff on it. Back over to that side. Now, there's a couple of different ways that you can apply alcohol. You can spritz it straight out of the bottle. You can use one of our spritzers. If you do put alcohol in it, please mark it as having alcohol. You have a little bit more control over these guys. Or you can get one of your water markers, or your water painters. This one here is actually the brush from the embossing toolkit. All right. I also use it as a paintbrush. And if you've got a glass jar, or in this case, a glass mat, all right, you can put some alcohol onto your glass mat. Normally, I would just spritz it and spray it, okay? And some of the girls from my classes have been to classes where I've done that. But what I want to do is I want to stipple this because I don't want that ink to run too far away. So I'm going to put some ink, some alcohol on my glass mat. It will dry relatively quickly. And I'm just going to drop it onto these as I go. Okay? And stipple it a little bit. First of all, it wasn't enough. All right? Because I want it quite wet. That's better. So you want it wet. And you're going to notice that your alcohol is going to run. Your alcohol is going to make your marker run. Okay, I'll just try and keep it fairly flat. It is going to dry flat. It's actually pretty good at drying flat. Oh, try not to blend those colors of your bits too much. And if you were to use the water marker, which is a softer brush, it just makes it so that it's a little bit more stipply. Now, the other thing that you can do is if you wanted to spray it, you could. Whoops, it's getting under the corner there. If you've got a little bowl, this is probably a better option. If you want to spray it, you will get a different look again. And then it's a matter of waiting for it to dry. You can help it. If you're using your heat tool to help dry this, look, my flower's gone all over the place there. If you're using your heat tool to dry this, my heat tool's only got the hot, but the newest heat tool's got the 2 different temperatures on it. So you need to use the lighter one. I was giving it a blow because alcohol dries really fast. All right. If you wanted to put some extra droppy bits, try not to put it back in that there. You can, I like to hold it up and just add a few droppy bits. I don't know if you saw what it just did then. Because those other bits were already dry, I can't pick it up. It sort of splopped on it. The other thing that you can do is just for a little bit of different texture is you can come along and you can pop some random drops of alcohol just out the bottom of the, oops, try not to put too much on them. Now, once this is dry, if you don't like the color or you don't think it's dark enough, you can go ahead and you can put more on it. Now, it doesn't look like much so far. It actually looks quite wishy-washy. I'm going to add a bit more color once that's dry. Okay. In the meantime, though, because we've got to let it dry, I'll just put it up there, is what am I going to do with my card? Okay. So I've got a plain white card. Let's fold this in half. Somewhere on the table over here is a bone folder. This is where you might need to make sure your glass mat is nice and clean. Because let me tell you, you will see it if you get a mark on your white piece of card. And this is where this is going to come to life when you put it against some white. Okay. So it's going to sit quite nicely there against that white piece. Pop that to the side. Then I have this piece. Now, this piece here is the same size. It fits quite nicely on my card front. It's just shy of my card front. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's sort of like half a millimeter shy. What I'm going to do with that is I'm going to chop it up. Now, this piece you can leave plain or you can emboss it. The choice is yours. But I'm going to cut that at 3 centimeters. And then I'm going to leave a gap of about, actually I might cut that at 3 centimeters and do 3 centimeters at both ends. Yep, that'll be perfect. All right, so I've got this nice big fat piece that is now become my waste piece. So I've got 2 3 centimeter strips. All right, how's that going? Is that dry yet? Yep, you can start to feel it. Okay, and because it's got the white on this side, it actually looks really cool. But I'm going to add a little bit more color just because I can. So I'm going to bring, and because my Cajun craze went running all over the shop over there. So I'm just going to bring a little bit more color into here. And here, because now that flower there is blue and I don't want it to be blue. And to here. And now I'm actually being a bit neater here. And there's a method in my madness because I'm actually giving the flower some texture. So when I turn those over, they just look a little bit better. I will put a little bit more. I'm just going to drop a little bit of, oh, I don't want to, that was a big drop. One more drop each onto my flowers. Okay. And then if we add a bit more of our dark, I was going to say my dark mossy meadow, is that the one that I've trod on? That's light. Where are you, baby? It's developed some legs. No, here it is, right in front of me. Okay, let's see if I can get it out with, no, I'm not going to be able to get it out without pulling the two pieces apart. All right. We'll just add a little bit more colour to some of these ones that lightened off a bit. Just to make them a bit darker. And you can play with this, you can always add more, you can't take it away. So you can play with this as much as you want, but just be aware of that. Oh, I just noticed that that flower's no longer got any Cajun craze in it. So I will go back and put that there. Okay. All right. We'll just give this flower a little bit of colour. And this time, just to show you how it looks differently, right from the top. And I only did a little bit, and I'll do another little bit, and it makes the dots littler. So the higher you go up, the littler your dots. Okay? And it dries really quickly. So I got a bit carried away again. I'm really good at that. Less is more, guys. Okay? I'm not going to touch it anymore. So these little pieces here, we can run these through the cut and emboss machine, and we can make them so that they're patterned. We can make them so that they have an edge on them. We can do lots of different things with them, or we can just use a piece of designer series paper and put an actual edge on them. So what I've got here is, come to Courtney. Got, you name it, I got it on the side of my table here. But there's a piece I want, and it's not. Okay. Don't want you, I want the blue one. All right, it's gone. So we'll have to use this. So this is the piece that we used last week. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut some thin strips of it. Oh, I'm running out of room here. I'm just going to cut some thin strips of it, just so that I can. That's about 1 centimetre, guys. And the other colour that looks fabulous doing this is gold. Right, so we've done all this work and we're not going to see it all, okay? Because what we're going to see is only the bit that I want to show you. But I need to make it so, but look, look how fabulous it looks. Oh, it's upside down. Look at how fabulous it looks against the white. Just makes all those colours pop. So it gives you that stained glass effect, okay? If you want to colour the flowers in more, you can. And I'm just going to put a little bit of colour all over them. Well, that one in particular, this one here. Just to make them so that they really pop. Okay, so these pieces here are going to be too long. my card piece is going to be too long. So I just need to trim my vellum down. These are measure at 14.2. So I need this to measure 14.2. 14.1, 2. Because remember, I cut it a bit bigger because it was still 6 inches long, that one. Now, because of what we're doing with these pieces, that means that we can actually apply glue to this guy. And see, I've got my word. Yes, Amanda, I've put the markers down. I've got this guy here. I've got my word top here. Now, because of what I've done with the markers, because of what I'm going to do with my paper that's going on top of it, I can add, let's see how many of these, you've got some glue in it. I can use any adhesive. Gosh, look at that. That's all stuck up. Gross. And I can put any adhesive I like on here. Because of what I'm doing, I'm only going to put it at the top and the bottom. Otherwise, you will be able to see it. And I will show you how you can see it. You can put a little bit of adhesive if you want in some of the flowers, because you won't be able to see them. Okay. All right. And then I'm just going to pop that on here. Make sure it lines up nice with either end. And I'm going to squish that glue down in there and hold it down. Okay. So look at that. Isn't that looking fabulous? So this is just one of the ways that you can do a stained glass technique. Now these pieces are going to sit quite beautifully on the top here. They would look way better if I embossed them, but I'm not going to, because I reckon they actually look quite smick like that. I will, however, I'm going to add these pieces to one of them, the bottom one. All right. So I'm just going to run a piece of little strip of glue. If you want to use tape, you can use tape. Run that little strip of glue across there. And I'm going to, I was going to glue it onto there, but I'll glue it on this way. And hold your tongue right. I only want about 1/2 centimetre showing, so that just gives me that little bit there like that. And then your snips, which are easy to come by on the side of your table here. Not. I think a kid must be pinching my stuff. I'm going to blame them anyway. You can use your snips or you can use your trimmer to trim that piece there off. Okay. Now, our sentiment. This stamp set has Dear Friend and Thanks in it. Now, I actually need a different sentiment. So, I don't know where I put them. But there's nothing in that I need either. I'm thinking that I'm just going to have to go with what I've got. So, I'm just going to go with Thinking of You. Okay, now Thinking of You has not been used in this set, so I will tell you this is a photopolymer stamp set, and this one has not been used yet, so it needs a bit of a scrub up. When I say a scrub up, I'm going to use black. No, I'm not going to use black because I don't have it here on the table. I'm going to use Mossy Meadow. So what I'm going to do, got a piece of basic grey here. And the only reason I've got that was because I thought I might use it, is I'm just going to stamp it on here before I stamp it on anything else, just to make sure it stamps nice and give it a bit of a rough up. I think I'm due to get a new Mossy Meadow ink pad because it's looking a bit How's Your Father. Okay. Give it a scrub. Now it'll stamp beautifully. That's my plan anyway. Thinking of You. Hold your tongue right. Make sure that the top, everyone can see the top of your head. Yes, it's not crooked. Sweet. Okay, so thinking of you, and that's going to go on our bottom. Okay. Now, this looks pretty just like that, I think. But and you know what? I can't see my glue under there. So I could leave it at that. But I also think it looks pretty when you frame it, which is essentially what I want to do. All right. Fiber, yes or no? What do you reckon? Do you think it needs ribbon? Come on, guys, I want you to vote. I know that you're a little bit behind when it comes to the, what's it called? The video. Now, I cut 2 of them, but I didn't need to. You could put 2. Actually, you know what? We will. While you guys are waiting, while I'm waiting for you to tell me whether we want ribbon or not. So I need a yes or a no for ribbon, okay? On the top, you want ribbon? I'm thinking I'm going to make this one shorter. I'm going to make this one 2 centimeters. And then I'm going to add that little piece to it. But yeah, not too much of the beautiful image hidden. Don't do it. So you think I should just put it on the bottom, Amanda? It did turn out quite nice, didn't it? I know that that's got no, it needs to go on the bottom. That one. All right, let me show you a few things. If I'm putting ribbon on it, I'm going to put it here. Actually, I really like that. All right, decision made. Okay. Here it is. Some tear tape. It's stuck. Oh, it's stuck to my scissors. Look what I found. Yeah, just do the bottom. I agree. Okay. So we're just going to do the bottom with some ribbon. And I am going to add ribbon. Now this ribbon is checkered. It's black and vanilla, so it does actually add a little bit extra color. You can color this ribbon, and part of me wants to. Actually, I've got my tear it tape ready here to stick on the back, but if I show you, we can decide whether we're going to color. I think we should color the ribbon. This is the light Cajun Craze. Oh, it's too dark. I think it's too dark anyway. Yeah, I think that's too dark. What do you reckon? Too dark? All right, nothing on the top, ribbon on the bottom, just a piece on the bottom. And I'm thinking that I won't color it because I think it's too dark. All right, decision has been made. Do you know what would probably look nice? And I don't have it over here with me, is soft sea foam, just to green this piece up just a little bit. But that's all right. So I'll just cut off that Cajun Craze bit because we don't need it. Yeah, it's too dark. All right, so it's going to stay vanilla just because I haven't got anything else over here with me at the moment. And I think that Grand Apple Green will be too bright and loud. All right, so I'm just taping that across the back there. And I'll tape it across the back here. Okay, this piece is going to be raised with some dimensionals. I pulled it quite firmly, but I think, all right, next one is, oh, Cheryl, I've already put the ribbon on. I didn't see your comment. All right, next one is, do we want a bow or a knot, or just leave it as is? All right, I'll show you. A knot. There it is with a knot. As is. Yep, I'm thinking as is as well, because then that little white piece doesn't come down. I'm glad I've got you guys here to help me today. Now, because it moves a little bit, if you are worried about it moving, you can stick a glue dot under it if you want to. I don't think it needs it. All right. And we're going to put some dimensionals under here. Now, with this piece here of the tear tape, I will tear it up a little bit. I'm not going to take it off completely, but I just want to stick my dimensional there. Okay, so I'll just trim that up there. Just because it needs that support there. It will need some support in the middle as well. Don't be stingy with your dimensionals. There's nothing worse than a card that looks like it's a bit flattish, for want of a better word. But you'll find if you stick it to the back of the tear and tape, it won't. It peels off a bit, for want of a better way of putting it. Get under there. And so just trim those bits off. And I'm going to put another one up here. I wouldn't normally stick them on a ribbon, but I have today because the ribbon's in that spot. You can take your pick tool to grab off your dimensional tops, all right, so that you can put them as a chunk into the garbage bin. I hope you're not saying less is more to dimensionals there, Cheryl. I hope you're saying less is more to fluffing around with the card. All right, so thinking of you, it's going to just cover that bottom bit there. Okay. And I've got some really pretty. These are the Earth Tone Shimmer Gems, and they are actually really pretty, and they work really nice with Cajun Craze. And we'll just stick one there. And two down here. Okay, and that is the front of my card. So when I hold that up to you, that actually looks quite amazing. Now, because it's got that white muted print on it, on this piece here. Oh, actually, you'll see it easier. Can you see what I mean? It's got that white muted, it is a print on it, but it actually works to our advantage on this card. So that is one way to do some of our stained glass. Now, I do need to pop something on the inside of my card here, because I want to color it with Stampin Blends. I am actually going to pop an inner in here. I wouldn't normally, and that is why I have my grey piece. Now, my grey piece is actually smaller, and that's just because that's what I just pulled out of the cupboard. So I'm just going to cut it. Actually, you know what would look really nice? Where's that piece gone? I'm going to put this piece behind it, because then that'll match my front. So let's make that, don't know what happened there, make that the size that I want for my inside, which is going to be 10. Cut the dodgy bit off. 10 by 14.4. I love the other side of this piece as well. I'll give you not bad, Amanda. Far out. Can't please some people, can you? And just because of how I've cut it, so that's going to be 14 point, my card is 14.4, my base, sorry. This is going to sit on top. Exactly, but I'm actually going to make it, and depending on how frugal you want to be, depends on how you do this. Right. If you wanted to, you could just stick a piece at the top and at the bottom, which is something that I would normally do, and then you can make your piece look like so. I'm going to cut a bit more off, because this is my piece for writing on. All right. And I'm going to stick it in the middle here, but I'm going to stamp on it first. Okay. Now, I don't have my memento over here with me, What I do have over here with me is early espresso. So I'm going to use early espresso. Now, you'll notice I have not cleaned my block. This stays on, it's not coming off, okay? It's not coming off. So I can go straight to my water-based ink and I can stamp on here. And if I'd stamped it in Mossy Meadow, I'd be able to just color it in Mossy Meadow, but I'm not going to. Oh, I need to do some on my envelope too. And I've got ink all over the place here, so I will push that up there. But I have noticed the weeks that I tell you that I'm going to stamp my envelope later, I haven't done it. So I am very conscious today that I brought my envelope over with me. Okay. Now, I'm just going to clean this part of my mat. Oopsie. Everything's encroaching on me. I love the glass mat. Best thing ever. Sounds fabulous. Comes with its own chamois, but it's over there somewhere. Now, because that ink is water-based and the alcohol markers aren't, I am going to colour my leaves. Because the markers go through, we want to make sure that they, because it would go through to the back of our card, so that's not good. I'm not going to use that end. This one here is our light Mossy Meadow. And I'm using the light Mossy Meadow, but I'm going to come over the top of it with our Granny Apple Green because I like how bright they look. Okay. And this time I am actually staying within the lines. I'm not very neat, but I am staying within the lines. Now, there's lots of people will tell you there's rules with these. I will tell you that there's none. You can use the light, you can use the dark, you can use whatever color you like first, and then you can go from there. You can do all of one color and then come back. It will still move. This one here is the dark. All my brush ends have seen better days. And it will still move that Mossy Meadow to blend in with it, which will just give you quite a nice little leaf look. I will admit, since I think Mossy Meadow was one of the first colours I ever got, so it's probably a good couple of years old, hence why it doesn't look that crash hot. And because I've used the early espresso, it's not black, so it doesn't make the leaves look wrong. They actually look like they're supposed to be leaves. Okay. And so we'll just give it a bit more color. Now, if you're watching this on replay, you have the beauty. I found out today, I was watching some videos this morning, you can times it by 1.5. So my voice would sound really fast and it would be squeaky and whatnot, but it means that you can see more video in a shorter period of time. So if you're watching this on replay, knock yourself out, find that, go to your little cogs and watch it at 1.5 times. Everybody that's watching this live has to put up with me as is. You lucky ducks. Again, now with your envelope, there's a couple of things that you need to know. The envelopes are thin. If you're going to be heavy-handed with your color, then what you need to do is you need to put a piece of cardstock inside your envelope so that way the envelope will, the color won't go all the way through to the back. If you're going to press lightly, which is what I'm doing here, I'm hoping that I can get away with it, for want of a better word. All right. I love the blends. They make it so that you can give everything some really nice texture. This one's the light Granny Apple Green. And I pulled it in because I knew its tip was okay. and I just wanted to lightly gloss over it. Okay, and there you'll see it's not on that side. How clever is that? Okay, so what we're going to do now with our card is this piece is going to get stuck in here. Little bit of adhesive. Stick that relatively evenly at the top and the bottom. You can use the lines on your glass mat if you're standing above it to guide you. And then this one is going to go on the inside like so. So I could have not used so much designer series paper here and been a bit more frugal and just put it on the upper and the bottom edges, but I find that when I do cards that are landscape in this general direction, they need the support. All right. I wasn't thinking about it at the time when I cut my piece of cardstock. Normally I would cut it in the other direction. And there you have it. Okay, Amanda, you're pretty impressed with that? All right. And open her up. And how pretty does that look? Okay. Well, thanks everyone for joining me. I'm going to head off now. Let me just show you my gorgeous face again. You all got to see my brooch today. I've got a spiffy on today. I'm going to head off now. I hope that you've enjoyed my video. You can add this stamp set does normally come as a bundle, the Spotlight on Nature. It doesn't have any dies that cut any of these out. It actually has circle dies, and the circle dies are fabulous. I do really like the circle dies. I'll do a technique again with the stained glass window type thing again. I really am glad that we've got vellum back as well. You can get that in the online exclusives at Vellum. You can get this is from the annual catalogue. It's bundled with its dies. Your Stampin Blends you'll find in the annual catalogue. There's so many things. There's so many fabulous things there. And if you want them all, because if you're anything like me, you really want them all. If you want them all, can I strongly suggest that you join? The joining kit is $169. You get $235 worth of product of your choice. So you could pop the Spotlight on Nature bundle in, a stays on, a couple of sets of blends, a packet of designer series paper, and we've got little note cards and envelopes. So for when you're getting started, you can get going straight away. Yes, I think, Kate, you do need to join again. I will actually always strongly encourage that. The joining kit is the best thing in the deal. Once you've joined, you also get a continual 20% discount once you've hit once you've hit the Bronze Elite status, you actually get 25% discount. And what better way to buy any products is with a discount. The glass mat, I believe, is still available in the online store. It is fabulous. It comes with its own chamois. It comes with a metric ruler down one side and imperial ruler down the other side. So it's just a nice tool. Alrighty, with all that on note, I'm going to say toodaloo. Hopefully I will catch you here next week if I'm not working. If I am working, you'll still catch me here next week, because I have come to the conclusion that I'm going to make you videos so that you can have a Hooray It's Thursday every Thursday. So same channel, same time. See you all next week.